The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Read by Michelle Ingalls. May 7th. Concentration of thought is not an effort to compel, but the desire to permit the stream of creative energy to take definite form. To try to force through concentration would be to give ourselves an adverse suggestion and bring upon ourselves the very opposite to our wishes, through recognizing an opposite to the power of good, and all in accord with well known and defined mental law in the spiritual world. We concentrate our attention. The law creates the form. This will solve one of those divine riddles which arise out of the teachings of Jesus. He was always telling his followers to believe, to have faith, and then he has plainly said, "Who by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his stature?" Here he tells us not to take thought. The riddle is solved the moment we place thought, imagination, will, and concentration where they rightly belong in the creative order. A good psychological balance is struck when the will and the emotions are rightly poised. That is, when the intellect first decides what the emotions are to respond to. After the intellect has made this decision, then the imagination is called into play and the game of living commences. It is the office of the will to determine that to which the imagination is to respond. One of the most important things for us to remember is that we are always causing something to be created for us, and that whatever cause we have set in motion must produce some kind of an effect. Are we producing the effects we should like to experience? The creative process will go on willy nilly. We cannot beat nature at its own game, for we are some part of the game she is playing. Shall the result in our lives be a comedy or a tragedy? We are given the will to decide the issue. We should carefully consider whether we are willing to experience the results of our thoughts. There should never be any hurt in them, for ourselves or for anyone else. We may be sure that if there is hurt for others, there must also be hurt for ourselves. As we sow, so we must reap. But here is no real limitation, for the creative life wishes us to have all that we can use. If we keep our thought fixed upon the idea that this energy, which is also intelligence, is now taking the form of some desire in our lives, then it will begin to take this form. If we change the desire, then it will change the form. Therefore, there must be a definite purpose in our imagination. We are so one with the whole that what is true of it is also true of us. We are one with unmanifest substance, whose business it is to forever take form, and we are one with a law which gives form. The entire order is one spontaneous being and spontaneous manifestation. The law follows the word just as the word follows the desire. The desire arises from the necessity of the universe to become self expressed. The law follows the word follows the desire. The word gives form to substance, and the principle of subjective law produces the manifestation. There is no effort in the process whatsoever. What we concentrate, then, is attention. This is done through intention and the willingness to hold thought centered until the form appears. It is unnecessary to learn any method of concentration whatsoever if these simple rules are followed.